All right, thank you so much for staying with us. Now, the 6 boys abducted from the Lagos State Model College, Igbonla Epe, have spent 22 days in captivity.
Today.
When will they regain their freedom?
Now, we have in the studio with us a nurse and health educator and a therapist, an educator as well, Julie Mobo. Julie, it's good to have you join us this morning.
It's a pleasure being here.
Now, describe for us, we want to understand this from all perspectives. Families, fathers, mothers, relatives of those who have their children at that little age being abducted, and for 22 days today, they're still under abduction. Give us a description of the kind of trauma that the parents will be passing through now.
There is no way one can actually describe the feeling those parents are experiencing now. Even if one has had his or her child abducted before, the feeling will be different, the experience will be different, because we are unique beings. So even those that have been in those shoes, in their shoes before, they may not really understand what these parents are going through. So it's not something that one should actually take lightly. You don't want to have, this has little or nothing, it's just not because they gave birth to these children, but they have been able to create a bond with these children. They have lived with them, they have seen them grow, they've come to love these children, they've come to see them as a part of them. Then all of a sudden, they are no more.
Forced separation.
Forced separation. They are no more. They aren't there. And you can't even explain. There's this state that, personally, I don't even like being in that state, the state of uncertainty. You don't have any slightest idea what those children are going through right now. Are they eating? There are these questions parents will be asking. Are they eating? Yeah. What are they being told? What are their experiences? Are they sleeping well? Where are they kept? What faces are they seeing? What are they experiencing every day? So,
like you said, how do you even begin to describe what the parents would be feeling and going through now? What about the kids themselves? We've heard that based on a report, there was this phone call between the kidnappers and one of the parents, and they were allowed to speak to one of the boys, and the boy said, "We've been eating only noodles." And that was, as you know, when it was, I think, around the 11th day or so. So they've been eating just the same meal. It's the cold season now, the rains are here and all of that.
The care they are used to, they aren't experiencing that anymore. So in the minds of these children, questions also are being asked.
What kind of questions do you think?
So they wonder, okay, what is it? Number one, why me? Why am I in this position? Now, children, especially those that are preteens going to the teenage stage of life, they tend to blame themselves for things that happen. So they probably could say that maybe there was something I must have done to be the one picked up.
Especially considering the fact that there was some kind of profiling.
Yes.
The abductors
asked
them questions.
So at that point, they would probably be blaming themselves. They could get to that point where they just say, this is my fault. If I hadn't answered, at least some of my friends were released. I probably would have lied. But if they come from a family that's, okay, we don't lie here, they are facing some state, they're in a confused state right now. They would be confused. That's on one part. Now, they are not used to eating or seeing the regular foods, the care that they have, the smile around and all that. They are not experiencing that anymore. That's another ball game entirely, totally different.
So in putting all of this together, what impact will this experience, this new experience they have, what impact will they have on their lives even when they are released?
Growing up,
because as we expect them to be released soon.
Okay,
what impact will that have?
Yes, there's something that I need us to understand, and everybody should understand. No one exists in isolation. They are not alone, and this is what I think the nation is doing, and they're not helping. These children, one way or the other, will come back into, I believe so, they will come back into the society, but now, what they will come back to become, it's one thing. Are they going to add to the trauma or to the crisis we're experiencing, or they will submit themselves if therapy is available, if they're going to have some form of therapy, or they submit themselves to gradually reintegrate into the system and become normal, near normal human beings. Nobody exists in isolation. They are there. Their families are affected. We cannot say, okay, it's their problem. The parents are part of a larger system, which is the work environment, the corporate environment. You can't expect, if there's a working parent there, you can't expect the person to go back to work
and just go on life.
It's not possible.
No, it doesn't.
So it's going to affect the corporate environment. The corporate environment, because one person is not functioning the way he's meant to function, it's going to affect the business in some way. It's going to affect the religious sector also. So nobody actually exists in isolation.
There was a
comment, we shouldn't treat them like that.
Yeah, there was a comment from Evans, the billionaire kidnapper, when
he
said that he was once
kidnapped himself. And
this
now he turns out to be a kidnapper.
That's why I said now, are they going to come into the society and add to the crisis that we are already experiencing?
It's like the child soldiers in Liberia, Sierra Leone, and the rest of them who turn out to be...
When things like this happen, we are not actually supposed to just waste any second. These are children. They still have how many years ahead of them? They're going to grow. And the experiences, they're already forming a mindset.
Exactly.
What about their classmates who...
It's going to be traumatic for everyone. That's why I said nobody exists in isolation. They're going to be afraid to go to school. They're going to be afraid to talk to anyone. They're going to be wondering, should I start telling lies? Even if I know where my parents work, because these people told the kidnappers where my parents were, should I start telling lies? So they're going to be, there's a lot going on in the minds of everyone that's connected to those children.
And it could lead to some kind of withdrawal.
A whole lot. Withdrawal, confusion. They could, at that particular stage, this phase where these children are, they could just decide not to even go to school anymore.
Yeah.
They could decide what's the essence.
And for a child who comes out from this experience and decides, Mom, Dad, I don't think school is a place where I feel safe anymore. So how does a parent handle that kind of situation?
This is what we say. Nobody went to a parenting school.
Yeah.
Nobody taught me how. Even mothers that give birth, we still teach them how to breastfeed. So we should learn to subject ourselves to learning. We should begin to subject ourselves to having knowledge about things. So whatever hit you're experiencing, any challenge you're experiencing, this parent should actually seek for help. We have family life practitioners everywhere. We have people that are working with families now. So these parents should begin to ask questions. Where can I get help? My child is coming back. Your child can't be normal anymore.
Okay, you know what? Now, in the midst of all of this, the parents themselves seem to have given up on government. You know, they're saying government has left them to their own devices and government is insensitive and all of that, and they don't trust the police to be able to do anything. They've been engaging the kidnappers, at least the kidnappers called them, and they've been having this back and forth about how much to pay and all of that.
And been bargaining.
And bargaining and what have you. And of course they stormed the governor's office, you know, recently.
Yes.
How should they be handling the situation in such a way that they don't jeopardize both their own, you know, their psyche, the children come back safer, you know, and all of that?
It's actually a difficult one, but their sanity here is very important. So a parent should, it's difficult for me to even say this because they would just say that you don't know what it feels like, you're not experiencing it. That's why you are saying what you're saying. Honestly, I feel for these parents. At this point, one should try to devise a meaning to a situation that will place him or her in a more resourceful state. Because if we're able to generate some form of happiness from within, we'll be able to have more clarity of thought and direction. So it's possible they're acting on impulse, it's possible they're acting based on their feelings. So if at this point, okay, let me just imagine that my children are okay, but just that they're in the hands of someone that I do not know,
total stranger,
and I would not willingly give my children to, so that they're in a better mind state to be able to work out. They could actually come together. They need clarity. They need their minds to be relaxed in order to think about what next to do.
All right, Julie Mobile, family nurse therapist and health educator, thank you very much for coming on the program.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.